Hello everybody, we're gonna play with some Natasha Denona stuff today, and I've got a number of new things. I think I'm gonna film my 3 looks with the bronze palette separately, so we're gonna do a face full of new to me Natasha Denona. I think some of it actually might be new, and one little thing that I've been very excited about getting, I kind of want to try some of this new stuff that just came in. Right now, I don't have anything on my face except for moisturizer and a little bit of the Poreless Putty Primer from e.l.f. I am going to put a little bit of the Gerard Cosmetics Clean Canvas Eye Primer on, and I'm going to let it just sort of set in there first. I'm just going to use a little bit of the Benefit Goof Proof. Sometimes I just don't even do brows these days, honestly. And I've never been somebody who's like super specific about my brows, I gotta be honest. I didn't get into the whole like Sharpie looking brows or the pencil thin brows. I do like a little bit of a lift right here, and I'd like it to be a little bit more out from there, but it's really not. And like some people, my brow hairs grow like up in one direction and then down here. I gotta be honest, I just don't even know that I worry enough about them to be that specific. Are you guys like that? Do you guys like care a lot about your eyebrows? We're gonna try this Natasha Denona. This is the Face Glow Foundation. I'm expecting this to be very glowy. And in fact, so much so that sometimes I've been putting on an illuminator underneath my makeup. I'm not gonna do that this time. I'm just gonna pump some into my hand right here. Okay, I've got like 2.5-ish pumps, and I've got a little foundation brush. We're gonna try this and see what it looks like. Okay, I probably could have gotten a darker shade because I ordered it online. It's pretty sheer, actually. When I first swiped it on, I was like, okay, that's thicker than I thought. And now that as I sort of buff it into my face, it's going on pretty nicely, actually. I don't know about you guys, but I don't do a whole ton of like heavy foundations. I'm okay with my natural skin peeking through. I just think it looks a little bit more approachable. I think I need a little bit more. I'm gonna try another layer of this. A little pump, because I have some discoloration right in here. So we're just gonna buff this into the face and see how it performs. It does feel a little dewy. So if you have super oily skin, you might not care for it. Let's see, how does this look? Yeah, you know what? Actually, I like the finish. The finish seems soft. I'll be curious to see how it oxidizes, if it does at all. But it doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look too bad at all. Because this is so dewy, I'm going to take a little bit of the Bare Minerals. This is like their original foundation. And I am going to just buff it into where I get my glass marks. I'm going to just use this to sort of buff into. Then I got the Natasha Denona Contour Sculpting Powder. And this is in shade 01 Light. I don't think I realized I was getting light. Pretty packaging. Okay, that actually doesn't seem as light as I would have thought. So let's try this. Let's just give this a whirl here. I've got a little bit of an angled brush. We're gonna use that to kind of contour out a little bit. And this is more of a contouring powder, not a bronzing powder. I have so much glowy bronzy stuff. I really am enjoying the Too Faced Soleil, Chocolate Soleil bronzing powder. I'm really enjoying that. I'm really enjoying the Charlotte Tilbury. Okay, so this feels a little subtle. Of course, stippling seems to work a little bit better. As far as the contour goes, I'm okay with that. I don't know if you guys are working out, if you're exercising, if it's even something that you're even thinking about these days. I need it. I need it for my mental space, and I need it for my physical space to feel better about myself. I'm just taking the corner of this brush and I'm trying to do just a little bit of nose sculpting. I don't know why. The only thing about my nose, I mean, I feel like it's maybe just a touch wide, but I do have this ridge, this bump right here, and I'm still waiting for that new face contouring microcurrent thing to show up. I was trying to explain it to the gal at Red Robin the other day, but I don't think she really understood what I was talking about. My husband for sure doesn't, so we'll have to see if he notices any different and if he's interested. Not saying he needs it, he doesn't, he looks fantastic. My husband's like a silver fox, you know. Contouring so far, it's, you know, just maybe just a little tiny bit patchy, but maybe it's because of the brush, my technique. So I got another one of these Diamond and Blush palettes. They were on sale at Sephora, actually maybe on her website too. I have 01 in this, I think it's 01, and it looks like this. And I really like it. It's a good palette, it's a little bit lighter. And then I bought this one in 02, and I'd heard really good things about it, so that's what the two look like together. A little tiny bit different. This one seems it has more like a bronzer shade in it. And of course the blush. And in typical Natasha Denona fashion, it looks like it has, so it's got diamond, blush, and glow. This is not new. This has been out for a little while. It's just new to me. We're gonna try with the cream, and we're just gonna see. Okay, that's pretty bold. I'm trying this new thing. Instead of starting here and just like swiping up, I'm starting like up on the high point of my cheekbone, and then just kind of stippling it down. Just trying something new, you know? Sometimes it's just, can't do the same old thing that you used to do. I remember this gal, she used to do like a streak, and then she would do like this and do like this above it with her finger to wipe off any excess, so it literally was just a stripe. That's not such a good look. Okay, this is pretty, it's a pretty dark color. I think it's a little bit darker than I thought it was gonna be. We will tone it down a little bit too. We're gonna go over the top of it with a little bit of the powder and just see what that does to stuff. I might even like the powder a little bit better. Boy, that is a bold color. We're gonna have to tone this shade down a little bit. It might not look so bad on the camera, I can't really tell, but in real life, it's a little baby Jane, I think. Okay. As far as the formula goes, see, I try to keep the shiny stuff off this texture right here, and it feels like I've got a little, one of these highlighters too. We're gonna do this bright yellow glow. We're gonna try a little bit of that, and this is also a cream formula. And of course I'm trying to keep it down below my crow's feet because we don't need to highlight that. All right, that actually helped tone down some of that bright pink a little bit. We're gonna try it over here too. And that yellow is not as crazy as I thought it was gonna be. Actually, it looks kind of pretty. I'm gonna save the bronzer in here until we kind of get everything else done, just to see. So this might be one of those palettes that works really well for a reverse foundation thing, where you do your contour, your blush, and then you do your foundation on top. That might be a really good use for this palette. That looks so much better. I did get the Natasha Denona lip liner pencil. I think this is this is like the first lip liner pencil I have. This is in the shade Medium Natural L2, it looks like. And I have the I Need a Nude Sava lipstick, and I really like that. Decided I would try the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude lipstick in 11NB Natasha. So her namesake, I figure if it's her favorite nude, then why not? Okay, we're gonna just try this lip liner. All right, not as creamy, and I'm gonna fill in just a little bit on the outer corners of my lips. I love it when there's a little bit of dimension. The color is actually really pretty. It's barely perceptible. I'm trying to stay as much on the ND products today as I possibly can. So far, so good. With just a couple exceptions. Okay, how does this lipstick look? Oh, and it's pretty light. This might be too light for me. This might be too much of a nude. The smell of it's really nice. It's almost like a vanilla cupcake or something, but not overpowering. The formula feels nice on the lips. I think it's just too light for me, especially, well, we'll see. I'm not gonna do a super dark eye look, so I think it kind of makes sense that I would go a little bit darker with the lips. I might have to just throw some lip gloss on over the top of it. Okay, you guys, this is something I've wanted for a very long time, and I finally got it. It was out of stock forever, and it is the Mini Retro palette. And I do have several of the other minis, but for whatever reason, I really wanted this. And today I'm wearing kind of like a greenish sort of dress, so I thought it would be even better to try some of these like greens and pinks in here. They say retro. I think it's supposed to be kind of like a 60s sort of look. These two shades right here are kind of a gray green, and it's not really picking up in the camera, but hopefully we'll figure it out here. Okay, you guys, I have not ever dipped into this before. This is a brand new virgin palette. Probably not do 3 looks with it right now, but if you guys want me to come back and try to pull off 3 looks with this little itty bitty palette, let me know. I've already done one video. I'll try to insert the link with the mini Layla palette. Okay, so I'm gonna take this sort of dustier pink and just use that as a transition shade. I mean, that's kind of what it's there for, right? All right, it has a little bit more pigment than I thought it was going to. And again, I don't have anything on my lids other than that clean canvas from Gerard Cosmetics. And it's a little tacky, but it's been on there for a little bit. It's actually a nice shade of pink. If you're not a pink wearer, this is more on the nudie pink than like bubblegum pink. I think this little palette was $25, which seems a lot for 5 shades. And I have gotten other of the little mini palettes for like $12.50 on Sephora. If you have points at Sephora, you should be able to use like, I think it's like 500 points gets you $10 off, maybe something like that. You might look into that, because if it'll save you $10 and you get one of these for $15 instead, that's okay. Would I recommend so far paying $25 for this little palette? I don't know that I would, unless you're like unless you stand Natasha Denona. I don't know that I would. I do want to use this green, so I'm just going to use the same brush, and I'm going to pick up a little bit for my outer V here. Kind of giving me a little bit of the shape. It's probably a little bit bigger brush than I need. I'm going with a little bit of a daytime look today, but more of like a fun look than say like a work look. I started working out about a week ago. My husband just joined me the last couple days because it's a weekend. It's funny because we had some of this same equipment in our living room for months now, and I ignored it because there it's at. But as soon as I clean out the garage and move in the garage, it's like I have to go to it and then I'm focused on it. When it's just in my living room, I'm walking by it all the time. I'll have the elliptical in the living room and then I can watch TV and be on elliptical, and I never did. I mean, I did at first, but then it just grew dust. Having a garage seems to make a big difference. I'm going to take the metallic-y sort of gray-green just next to and kind of a little bit on top of that dusty gray-green. Oh yeah. What a fun palette. I think if you did this shade all over your lid, that would definitely give you kind of a retro-y 60s sort of vibe. I'm okay with that. Okay. And there are 2 pinks in here. I'm gonna swatch these really fast. Let's just see what this looks like. Really pink. It doesn't seem as, I thought it was more frosty, but I'm not seeing that when I swipe it as much. I've got 2 different pinks on here. I don't know if it'll show up or not. One of them seems more like frosty lighter, and one of them is more of a bubblegum sort of millennial pink that has a little bit of sheen in it in the mirror, so I'm going to use that one. Originally I wasn't going to. This does feel like a maybe more of a creamy formula, and because I wanted a little bit of the pigment really to poke through, I'm using my finger. I think if you're just want a light dusting, of course use a brush, and I'm swiping and then pressing because I really want that pigment to pop through. I'm feeling a little heavy-hooded right here. So I'm just going to go back in. I'm going to wipe this brush off a little bit here. I'm going to go back into my transition shade, bring it up a little bit more. Feel like that looks a little better than the other side. I love how makeup can change shapes and appearances and all that. I'm not normally a pastel eyeshadow kind of person, but I actually like that this has enough payoff in the color that I don't feel like I'm wearing too much light color. I feel like it's enough. I really like that. I'm thrilled with this. I'm so glad I'm not disappointed. Okay, I am going to take the lightest shade because why not? I have not used every single color. Might as well use every single color. And I'm going to use that as a little inner quarter pop. Oh yeah, that's exactly where that needed to go. I'm trying to decide if I even want to do any eyeliner today. I am going to take this darker shade and do a little bit under my lower lash line. I probably should have wet this brush, but it's my fast way of actually not doing eyeliner. All right, that feels like it gives it a little bit of a smoky look, a little bit more definition. Not too bad, not too shabby, folks. I need some mascara, and I think today I'm going to use this Wander Beauty mascara. We'll just throw on a quick coat. I'll be right back. I'm just kind of keeping it a little lighter today. I wanted this palette for quite a while, and I'm really glad I got it. I did not use any eyeliner. I love the way the wash of color is. I think I'm going to take a little bit more of that pink down below my lower lash line. This more of the what I call the millennial like bubblegum pink right under here. Kind of tie in that top and that bottom together. That's all I'm doing. I would absolutely wear this palette. I'm so glad I got it. These little palettes I have been really impressed with. I haven't noticed any issues, any concerns, anything that's like, oh, you know, have buyer's remorse. I am gonna go into this kind of cream bronze. I know, don't freak out that I'm putting creams over powders, but I'm gonna put a little bit of this. See what this looks like. A little bronzer. Another good makeup day. I feel downright glowy and stuff. I'm like, the lipstick is okay. I just feel like it needs a little bit more. What do I need here? Okay, so I'm gonna grab my Pat McGrath and just darken this up a little bit. That feels like I got a little bit more dimension. Okay, a little bit of the gloss. I don't have my hourglass in here, so I'm just gonna use the Morphe setting spray. You guys, I just used almost a face full of Natasha Denona products. I really like the way this looked. I think it turned out really pretty. Natasha Denona, you guys, I don't know. I may be a convert on some of the higher end stuff. For the longest time, I didn't want to spend the money on Natasha Denona. It feels like you're treating yourself when you use like high end nice stuff. The contouring palette, maybe hit and miss. If you have to choose, I think there are other ones out there, maybe even drugstore ones that work a little bit better. If you don't want to cough out the money for, you know, the $65 palettes or the $129 palettes, or even more than that, the $239 palettes, these little $25 palettes are great. They give you enough. I'm thrilled with this. Do you have this palette? Did you want this palette? Do you have any of the minis? Do you like them? I'm real excited about these small little minis. I think they're super portable. They're easy. They're easy to use on a day-to-day basis when you're not just being too creative. If you just want something because, hey, I'm rushing out the door and I want something fast and easy, these little ones are fantastic. Natasha Nude, maybe a little too nude for me, but I think if I layer it with other colors, then it gives the center of my lips a little bit more fullness, which I'm not upset about at all. So this 02 Citrus palette, I am glad I got it. I am glad. I think it gives me some different color combinations than the other one did. So I'm not upset at all. I hope you guys are having a great day. Please subscribe if you haven't already. My name is Shelly and I post videos usually Monday, Wednesday, Friday. A lot of them tend to be makeup videos, product reviews, subscription boxes, sometimes travel stuff. And I hope you guys are doing really well. Curious to see what's going on with this whole coronavirus thing. We're still not out of it yet. And I see half a dozen states have really gotten kind of scary. So I hope you guys are all safe and I'm thinking about you guys. So until my next video. Bye for now.